Salut à tous, on va continuer The Outer World. Donc on en était où? Il fallait savoir si on allait soit sauver ceux qui vivaient dans la serre, que ceux qui étaient partis de la ville, ou alors est-ce qu'on allait prendre le générateur dans la ville? Parti. Tu veux pas me parler?
We'll get you mostly drunk at half the price. Spacer's choice.
Rien à dire.
Hey, it's the visitor. Come back for another round? No.
Bon, qu'est-ce qu'on a comme quête? On peut faire quête secondaire, abat les robots. Ah oui, ça c'était alors, on en avait quoi? Il y en avait un qui était ici, dans la ville. Wow, ça rame. Tiens, c'est vrai que j'ai pas beaucoup parlé aux gens qui étaient dans cette usine-là. Passez. Ok, objet trouvé, une main gauche. On va éviter de... qui est dans les casiers quand même. Ça se fait pas trop. Ça se fait pas trop. Pareil. Ah ok, on est en dessous. Ok. Non. On va pas libérer le régulateur électrique tant qu'on n'a pas redirigé le courant. Sinon, ça peut nous exploser à la tronche, je pense. Ok, ça c'est barricadé. Est-ce qu'il y a un moyen? Ah, par l'autre côté. Par l'autre côté. Non, ça c'est pas du vol. Je vais le prendre. Ok, est-ce qu'on peut passer par là? Non. Alors sûrement passer par l'extérieur. Je sais pas par où. Ah non, on va pas voler. Ah, c'est celle qu'on avait déjà parlé avec elle. Par contre, les dialogues ils sont longs à se déclencher.
Somebody's been spinning a tale about a lost colony ship. Talk like that'll get you reported real quick. I paid his burial fees, didn't I? Let the dead sleep. Didn't anyone ever tell you not to go rifling through other people's correspondence? Excuse you. Eugene's body and all rare earth minerals contained therein already belong to Spacer's Choice. And we're all part of the Spacer's Choice family here. Never mind. I don't have to explain myself to you.
Vous voulez de l'autre côté? C'est où de l'autre côté? Juste histoire d'avoir des points d'XP, hein. Que je le déverrouille, je vais pas voler. Ok, par contre, ça serait bien que j'aille là, au fond. Je suis où par rapport à la carte? Ok. Qu'il y a moyen de passer par là. Voir c'est à l'extérieur de la ville? M'étonnerait. Bien d'accord que c'est là. Là, c'est les toilettes. On va contourner. Tout le bâtiment. Ah. Ok, ça c'est la porte. On va continuer. Allez, on va contourner le bâtiment par l'extérieur de la ville. Par contre, ce serait bien que je trouve le 3e livre. Alors, donc là j'étais là, donc là. Je peux pas sauter, si. Des munitions lourdes. Ok. Oh, relou toi. Ok. Déverrouiller la porte du balcon du premier étage. Voilà. Viens d'où? Ok. Ok, mais en vrai, ça m'aide pas à rentrer dans le bâtiment. Moins que ça ait ouvert de l'autre côté, mais. Allez. Voilà. Voilà, plein de points d'XP pour avoir crocheté ça. Voilà. D'un autre côté, c'est vrai que c'est assez bête. Voler. Pas grave, je suis dans une pièce fermée. Attends, si je suis venu là, je récupère pas ce qu'il y a récupéré, c'est un peu dommage. Ok. Bon. Maintenant, on parlait du journal. Trouver les 3 livres, ok. Et sur la carte. Ouais. Très honnêtement, je sais pas où il est. Et on va aller à la centrale géothermique. Qu'est-ce que je fais? Que je vais parler à... Ah, je vais aller lui parler. Bonne idée.
Where are we headed?
Ok. Parler un peu.
If you could see your way to getting us our power back, I'd appreciate it. Go ahead. It is my job to keep 2 eyes on my town. I am the steward of this place, and this is my watch post. I'm trying to remember 25 years, 26. When you get to my age, the years just rush by. You stop counting altogether. I remember looking out this window and seeing the veils spread out from horizon to horizon. We were a sprawling town. We were booming. Times change, people change, but the veil will always be here. Spacer's choice will always be here. Our work won't ever end. I take comfort in that. Go ahead. That you are not one of us may work to your advantage. Adelaide and her folk loathe the people of Edgewater, you see. I admit the fault was mine. I'm about as diplomatic as a bristling canid. I just hope Adelaide and her folk will see their way past my flaws and return to town. Scripture tells us we all have our purpose in the world. Our work shows us that purpose. We should not have to move on from it. Yes, we have lost good workers to desertion. We have lost even more to plague. But it is why we must square our shoulders and carry on. Losing Adelaide was the hardest. She was our only flavor specialist. When she walked away, I knew we were in trouble. Spacer's Choice Salt Tuna is renowned across the system for its quality flavors and additives. We used to sell citrus-flavored salt tuna in our heyday. Ever since Adelaide left, we have been reduced to selling unflavored and spearmint. Something on your mind?
Je crois que je suis pas très discret. Hein. Je vais sauvegarder la partie et je vais le tenter. Qu'est-ce que vous en pensez? Qu'est-ce que je fais? Rien.
You're lucky I've already filled my quota.
Retente. Ah non. Ok. Ah non, ok. On va recharger la partie puisque on peut mentir une fois, mais sinon 2 fois c'est peut-être un peu trop. Je suis d'accord. Allez. Ok. Rien du tout. Ah, rien du tout, bien entendu. Ok, très bien. Ouais, c'est pas moi. C'est pas moi, j'étais pas là. Désolé. Hop là. Le jeu, c'est insupportable. Non, j'ai pas une mauvaise conf. Ok. Faut qu'on tue d'abord lequel? Celui-là. Pas de primate. Ah. Où est-ce qu'il est? À droite. Sérieusement? Le jeu, il a besoin de charger. On va essayer de rentrer. Oui, c'est vrai, c'est le petit cube blanc devant leur point faible. Quelque chose par là. Ouais. Voilà. Allez, viens. Chez moi. Ferme. Reste dehors. Ok. Et où? Ah, zut.
Rest with us.
Ça c'est... Je rentre dans la centrale. Ok. Est-ce que... il y a d'autres lieux à visiter? Ça c'était fermé. Ah, il y a un autre robot. Où est-ce qu'il est? Ah non. La borne du... La borne. Alors c'est... Non, c'est un seul bâtiment. Ok. D'autres à récupérer. Et... ok. C'est quoi ce bruit? Robot, il est où? Et on va passer par là. Et on va vers la centrale.
The control room should be ahead somewhere and a touch to the right. I hope we're doing the right thing.
Here we go. We did it.
Not a peep from me.
Ok, les gens ils planquent souvent des trucs dans leurs toilettes. Ah. Hangar de réparation. Pour le livre qu'on cherchait. Le hangar de réparation. Est-ce qu'on sait où c'est? Ah non, ça c'est l'autre. Ok. Hangar de réparation. Est-ce qu'on a une carte? Ouais. Ok. Pas super précis. On doit aller par là. Et il y a un escalier qui descend. Qu'est-ce qu'on fait? On prend l'escalier qui descend? Je pense que c'est toujours une bonne idée de pas aller vers là où on devrait aller. Ok. Ok, je suis en surpoids. Enfin, pas que j'ai pris du poids, hein, mais... Il y a quelque chose de particulier? Non. Ça c'est scellé. Rien de l'ouvrir.
Gosh, that's clever.
Ok. Ah, le circuit logique. Et... salle des pièces à conviction. Ok. Non. C'est tabulation pour sortir. Ok, par contre, ça c'est fermé. Ah bah, je peux crocheter. Ah. Ok, ça serait bien que je trouve la carte de sécurité. Ah.
Here we go. Got him. Don't miss this.
Ok, ça c'est barricadé, donc faut qu'on fasse le tour. Là, on a eu le truc en bas. Un robot. Des capsules énergétiques. Cartouche d'octo. Il y a des trucs là de cachés. Ah. Sur la carte. Ok. Je sais pas du tout où on est. Ah ok, ouais, là, mais... Bien de là, on n'a pas... Ah. On peut voir tous les étages? Ah oui. Ok. Descendez de là, clac, 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 clac. Donc, il faut qu'on remonte par là pour ouvrir cette porte-là. Ok.
Beginning security patrol.
va? Ok, ce serait cool que je trouve un distributeur, histoire de me débarrasser de ce qui m'encombre. Ah, ok. Dans le puits. Ok. Quoi ça? Station pour réparer les robots. Ok, on va d'abord faire tout ce qui est en bas. J'ai activé ça, mais je sais pas ce que c'est. Ok.
Go away, Phantom! You're not real. You're not real.
Peut-être faire une petite sauvegarde. Hop, oui, on rase.
Get away!
Un mec, il a l'air un peu fou. Ok, là c'est pour descendre. Je vais aller. Il y a une salle là-bas. Je peux crocheter.
Great work.
Ok.
Mind the steam. You're liable to get scalded.
Ok. Faut qu'on fasse diminuer la vapeur peut-être. Je sais pas.
Here we go. That's the last of them.
Ok. Ok. Grâce à ça, il y a plein de trucs. Ok. Ok. Ok, je sais pas pourquoi je fais ça. Je sais pas combien il y en a. Mais...
Halt. Security patrol. Fire
Ok, c'est bon. C'est quoi ce bruit? Je crois qu'il lui manque la tête. Ok. C'est galère de pas être fort parce que ça oblige à marcher lentement. Moi aussi qui ramasse trop de trucs. Hein. Ok, et là je vais revenir là. Code d'accès de Chester. Ah tiens. Les cartes de sécurité du chef de la sécu. Ça va me permettre d'ouvrir la porte qui était en bas. Ok, je suis là. J'aurais dû continuer ou pas? Ouais, vas-y, je vais finir le couloir et ensuite je ferai pas du puits. Ah bah, ok. Au final, c'est juste pour faire un tour. Où était l'autre porte? Je crois qu'elle était juste là. Ah, si je me... C'est pas grave, on la retrouvera tout à l'heure.
No, 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 just leave me alone.
Ok, Higgins. On le trouve. Ah, il y avait l'échelle qui descendait.
You're not real. You're not real.
Et je suis réel. Ça ressemble bien au puits où il aurait pu faire descendre le livre pour lire au puits. Et on va descendre là.
You're not real. You're not real.
Il est là. Ben voilà.
You're not real.
Et bon. Et la quête, faut que je lui ramène.
No, no, no. Just leave me alone.
Et non. Pourquoi je te laisserai tout seul?
You're not real. You're not real. Get away from me, Phantom. Shoot. Scram. Most people? But I'm the only one left. No. Remember your first rule, Higgins. No arguing with the Phantom. See, Higgins? This is why you must always boil your sprats before ingesting. Of course. Do excuse me. I experienced 3 flashes of mania during which I am visited by the phantoms of my imagination.
Désolé pour le bruit.
Chester D. Higgins. The D stands for definitely not insane. I use it as a reminder. Oh, Higgins has been many things over the years. Sprat Wrangler, Saltuna Critic, Aetherwave Personality, Chairman of the Board, Galactic Defender, Sisty Pig Tycoon. I've come a long way for someone who started off as a simple engineer right here in this plant. I specialized in automechanicals, drones, sentries, repaired them, maintained, upgraded, did it all from my old workroom just over in the next section. Look, I don't want to fall into any trouble with the mechanicals. If they wise up to our plans, they will come for us. With prodding irons. You know, you remind me of myself back when I was an intergalactic adventurer. I discovered a flaw. Their hostility levels were hardwired to maximum. There's no changing that, but you could rewrite their targeting protocol so they attack each other instead. Yes, that's exactly it. I see you're also versed in the noble art of mechanical engineering. There's a behavior control terminal in the other room. It should have options to change how the mechanicals act, including whom they shoot at. Oh, that reminds me. You'll need my passcode to access the behavior control terminal. Here, let me just write it down for you. Funny thing, I was working on a logic module just before the mayhem started. Security chief found me and confiscated the logic module. The tail. Definitely start with the tail. If you're feeling adventurous, the ears are a particular delicacy. Jimmy'd opened the vending machines. That lasted a good couple of months. Eventually, I had to resort to more unconventional means of filling my insides. Mechanicals lost their bolts. Opened fire on anything that moved. It was pandemonium. I was on cleaning duty at the time. My old boss had me scrubbing pipes when the killing started. So, as usual, I missed out. What's eating you? The tail. Definitely start with the tail. If you're feeling adventurous, the ears are a particular delicacy. Mechanicals lost their bolts. Opened fire on anything that moved. It was pandemonium. You mean, why did the mechanicals go on a murderous rampage? Same reason any of us do, I suppose. The voices told them to do it. I was on cleaning duty at the time. My old boss had me scrubbing pipes when the killing started. So, as usual, I missed out.
Je pense que j'ai fait toutes les salles qui sont en bas. Il faut juste que j'aille. Oh. Ah oui. On a l'air d'atterrissage. Ok. Il faut que je rentre.
Once we do this, there's no going back. Excuse me, ma'am. Look, I know you want your power regulator and all, but I just gotta ask you. Do you understand what you're about to do? I don't think you should cut off Edgewater's power. I think it would be cruel. I'm sorry. That just sort of came out all at once. Edgewater's hurting. We've been losing workers year after year, and corporate hardly ever sends replacements. There's barely enough Saltuna to fill our bellies anymore. But the town's got some good people in it. Decent, hard-working folk just living their lives the only way they know how. They don't deserve to be punished. Miss McDevitt's built something beautiful. Somehow she's talked the ground into giving life again. It's plain to see she's made the Vale a better place. Fed the hungry, tended the sick. Gave a home to those that had none. But Miss McDevitt delights in Edgewater's suffering. She wants to hurt the town. Do you really want to be party to that kind of hatred? Well, that sure sounds like Mr. Thompson. If he was standing here, I imagine he'd remind us of how we're all one big, happy Spacer's Choice family. In Mr. Thompson's eyes, those deserters are still part of the Spacer's Choice family. The family must work together in order to survive. I hate to say it, but I think Mr. Thompson's got a point. Unless those deserters come back, Edgewater's as good as dead. Cutting off their power might be the only way. Sorry, I didn't mean to babble on like that. I felt like I had to say something. Really? I mean, wow. Thanks. No one's ever told me those words in that order.
Ok. Ce que je vais peut-être faire, c'est surtout l'ATP. l'ATP dans la région. Est-ce que je peux me TP ici? Ok, je peux voyage rapide. Ouais, ici. Ah zut. C'est-à-dire qu'il faut que je ressorte. Ah. Je vais y rendre les deux quêtes. J'ai peur que si je le fais pas... En tout cas, c'est possible que dans une des deux factions, je puisse plus y retourner. Ok. Est-ce que j'arrête pas de me bourrer? Carte. Ouais, je peux me TP. Hop, on va là-bas. Alors, à votre avis, qu'est-ce que je dois faire? Plutôt sauver les rebelles ou sauver la ville? Il est où Il est là, je crois. Galère à parler, hein.
Any luck finding one of those manuals? No kidding. Really? Well, which one?
Sérieusement, galère.
Look at that. Building a computing machine out of Spectrum potatoes, a primer. I'm just glad it survived all these years. I appreciate you going through all that trouble. In fact, I put aside something special, on the off chance that somebody'd search out those data pads for me. Well, don't keep me in suspense. Ain't that just ironical? If I'd worked a little longer back at the cannery, I might have found this myself. 2 whole data pads? Be still my beating heart. Oh, almost forgot your payment. Well, don't keep me in suspense. The geothermal plant? Now that is just incredible. You really went exploring down there? Adelaide always told us it was swarming with hostile mechanicals. That's a complete set. All 3 parts. I'm gonna be the greatest engineer Halcyon's ever seen. Aside from you, Ms. Parvati, I swear, I'll do you proud.
I'm glad we could help, Thomas.
I've been saving something for you. Just a little contraption I found. Should fit right into your outfit.
Mais sérieusement,
What's on your mind?
pourquoi est-ce qu'il galère autant? Ok. Non. On va se TP. Ici.
Bring us honor, soldier. Bang up work, soldier. You're a credit to your uniform. Oh, that reminds me. Gotta look into getting us a uniform. So this is it then. The key to humanity's victory over the mechanical hordes. I would reward you with the gratitude of the Resistance, but I'm guessing you want something tactile. So here's a couple bits for your trouble, and a little something to remember me by.
Ok. Et on va aller vendre ce qu'on a et ensuite on ira. Ok, faut que je trouve juste la boutique. N'importe quoi en fait, boutique, bar. Pourquoi je me bats? Perds dans cette ville. Ah, General Store, tiens. Ah, faudrait peut-être que... Avant ça, je vérifie tout mon équipement.
Spacer's Choice, the brand of choice for spacers on a budget.
Ok, si on fait ça. Alors, regardons. C'est une arme à une main. 131, 133. 142. Il y a quoi en plus comme dégâts? Effet spécial brûlure, on va garder la brûlure. C'est 173, ouais, on va juste les changer parce que il sera en pleine forme. Ensuite on a le petit pistolet. Le petit pistolet. Ah, mais c'est pour ça qu'il fait plus mal, il faut que je le répare. Ok, bon, par contre, ce que je vais faire, c'est que je vais démanteler pas mal de trucs. Pour récupérer des pièces. Ok, on va regarder l'armure. Armure, hop. Quoi? 9. Ah, j'ai des armures de 17. Technologie, c'est bien, mais... Allez, on va quand même mettre ça. Au casque. Crochetage plus 5, c'est bien ça. Juste le réparer. Ah bah non, il n'y a pas besoin. Je vais vendre tout ça. Et je vais vendre tout. Ça, c'est combien? 0,5, c'est un peu lourd. Ok, allez, hop. Oh, pourquoi les dialogues ils sont si longs?
Work your jaw on some Spacer's Chaw. Music to my ears.
Bon bah voilà. Ah, ça c'est pour acheter. Non, j'ai pas acheté. Je me disais bien que j'avais pas ça. Allez. Faire un peu de clean. Le rebut. Ah. Vendre le rebut. C'est bon. 14 clés de contournement. 26 crochets. 68 pièces d'armes. 66 pièces d'armure. Il y a ça qui... Faudrait que je vois si je peux équiper ça sur les armes. Je verrai peut-être après pour les armes parce que je sais pas si je vais pas bientôt changer de lieu, donc est-ce que j'aurai des armes un peu mieux. Allez, région. Là on a quoi? Il reste quoi comme quête? C'est de là en fait. Et on ressort là-bas. Ah purée, qu'est-ce que c'est agréable de pouvoir courir de nouveau. Ok. Donc, qu'est-ce qu'on fait? Est-ce qu'on redirige vers Edgewater pour que les rebelles rentrent dans la ville? Ou est-ce qu'on redirige vers les rebelles pour détruire la ville? C'est une bonne question. On va rediriger vers Edgewater parce que il y a beaucoup plus de trucs à voir à Edgewater. Il y a la barmaid, etc. Je pense qu'il y a des quêtes éventuellement qui sont possibles. Côté laboratoire botanique aussi. Allez.
I think you did the rightest thing you could sending the power back to Edgewater. A lot of people would have suffered otherwise. People I care for, even if they don't care much for me.
Allez. Faut qu'on aille récupérer le régulateur. Ma priorité, c'est ça.
That's the thing about growing old. Your eyes start to fail. Elsewise, I would have seen you for the snake that you are, chopped you into pieces and roasted you on a spit. This is all you're doing. Cutting off my power, killing off my garden. Without refrigeration, my food will spoil, and my flock will starve. I want to ask you this in private, away from the eyes of my flock, so they do not see me lose my temper. Tell me, why did you do it? You want my flock wasting their lives in that cannery? Fine. Go and talk to them. Go talk to Grace and Thomas. Look them in the eye and tell them their life here is over, and the only thing left to do is go back to Edgewater. This is now your responsibility. And you tell Reed Thompson that I will never return to Edgewater. I would rather die among my flowers than live under his management. My son worked in that cannery. When the plague started coming, he was one of the first to fall sick. We had a store of medicine locked away, but Reed refused to treat him. Said my boy didn't deserve treatment. Said the medicine would have been wasted on him. So I buried my boy in the cemetery, gathered my belongings, and left. That's as much of the story as you need to hear. You offering to cross Reed off, huh? This some sort of twisted reparation for what you've done? Or you just looking for a chance to sow some chaos? Kill Reed if you must, or talk him into leaving if you can. He and I are not sharing the same four walls together. Tell Reed that I can make his people healthy again. I can end their plague. Start a new garden right in the cannery. 3 square meals for every man and woman in Edgewater. Tell him how I've made the Vale bloom again. The soil has whispered its secrets to me, and I alone know how to breathe life back into the earth. The secret is human corpses. I've been grinding them up in my fertilizer for years. Marauder, worker, don't matter much to me. The human body is rich with nutrients. Edgewater Cemetery's got corpses aplenty, enough for a generation's worth of crops. Look at that. The snake's come back.
Pourquoi ces dialogues ils sont si longs à se lancer? Incroyable.
Everybody keeps staring at me. It's not my fault the power's dead.
Sérieusement, c'est ridicule. Tant de temps pour juste dire une phrase.
I've been thinking about going back. I'm not much use to anybody here. I get sick thinking about working at the cannery. I can't do that again. You know something? I think you're right. The town could use another engineer, and I'm on my way to becoming one. I could do a lot of good in Edgewater. Maybe even keep a garage of my own with a little workbench and My very own toolbox. It's just... Adelaide's never gonna forgive me. Not in 100 years. I go crawling back to my old life in Edgewater, and I'm as good as dead to her. Adelaide hates Edgewater, hates everything Edgewater stands for, hates what that town does to people, what it did to her. We're the nearest she's got to kin. We go back to Edgewater, we may as well have stuck a knife in her heart. Are you sure about this? If we head back to Edgewater on our own, Adelaide won't come with us. She'll stay here and curse us till the end of her days. You know where to find me.
I don't know what you did to talk some sense into Zoe, but I appreciate it.
Sans rire.
The matter's been weighing on me. Zoe came back, but I couldn't keep her from slipping out in the first place. Who's to say I could keep marauders from slipping in? I don't see us lasting more than a couple of weeks out here. I'm loath to admit it. We're gonna have to make our peace with Thompson and hope he takes us back. Listen, we go back to Reed, hat in hand, begging for our old jobs back. Well, Adelaide's not gonna forgive us. She never talked to us again. Edgewater's not just a town to Adelaide. It's a symbol of everything that's wrong with this colony. A big, heartless machine of metal and gears grinding workers down to dust. We're the closest thing Adelaide's got to a family. We go back to Edgewater, she's gonna feel betrayed. Sure, suit yourself. I'll be here.
Ah, j'ai pris feu. Pris feu. Allez, c'est reparti pour la ville. La conserverie. Voilà. Ouais, journal. Oh. Allez, on va faire une petite sauvegarde.
This is a fine day, friend. Power flows through our town like a cool stream of water. I trust Adelaide's people have seen their way to reason. So, when can I expect them back at their posts? Then we are at an impasse. Stewardship over this town has been entrusted to me by Spacer's Choice. I am not perfect. I have made my share of mistakes. But I have done my best for this town. I'm a Spacer's Choice man. My father was a Spacer's Choice man. Edgewater may not look like much to some buttoned-up freelancer, but it is my home. I don't believe you. Plague's a reality of life. Best treatment is a good work ethic. You are disparaging our parent company, and it is not appreciated. We are a Spacer's Choice Saltuna cannery. We eat saltuna here, and only saltuna. I don't understand. You say Adelaide's growing her own food, but that should not be possible. The soil's gone sour. Company said as much. Our own botanist couldn't grow decent crops for us, so the company got rid of him and shut down the greenhouse. You'll excuse me for being skeptical. How exactly is Adelaide growing crops in barren soil? If Adelaide's found a way to feed her people and cure the plague, then she deserves this office more than I do. I won't stand in her way. My life here is ended. Give me a little time to settle my affairs. I'm sure Adelaide will be glad to see the back of me. I do. Adelaide's found a cure for the plague, and she knows how to tend to crop. She's what this town needs. A couple months ago, I might have put in for a transfer. It's a big colony. Spacer's Choice has other towns. Now, I couldn't show my face in any of them. No such thing as an honorable resignation. Suppose I could find a place outside the walls, or put in for early retirement. I don't know. I could see myself lasting a week. I have always tried to do right by my town. It has never been easy. I already told you I'm leaving. Just give me a little while to collect my thoughts.
Yeah, huh?
Look at that. The snake's come back. I never thought I'd see the day that Reed Thompson abandoned his post. Suppose we all have a breaking point. Suppose it's time our flock made our way back to Edgewater. We must tend to what remains of the town and carry on with our lives as best we may. You're vexing to me, you know? Injuring us with one hand, helping us with the other. Here, I'm giving you something to leave us be. It's a ransom, you understand, not a reward. You telling me you did all this just to put me in charge of Edgewater? Stranger, you are some kind of twisted. I might turn that old cannery into a garden. Got ourselves a whole cemetery bursting with bodies. I need some time to gather my personals. Long walk back to Edgewater. Got a considerable burden to carry.
That was a good thing you did, Captain. helping to bring the deserters and Edgewater folks back together. I hope you rest well on that.
Battle it's okay.
I already told you I'm leaving. Just give me a little while to collect my thoughts.
What do you think you're doing? I don't have time for this. Move along.
Is this your ship? Oh my stars, she is just so handsome! Does she have a name yet? What's her drive model? Oh, gosh. Listen to me babbling. When I was in Edgewater, I dreamed of flying on a real ship, working on a real engine, belonging to a proper crew. I'm the only decent mechanic Edgewater's got, but every time I think of going back, I get this sinking feeling. Well, it's kind of you to say that. And you're right. I wasn't happy. I want to ask you something, and you can say no. But can I come with you? I could tend to your engine. I know my G-valves for my catalyzers, and I can keep your ship singing. And if you ever need a pair of eyes watching your back, I can do that too. What do you think? Yes! I mean, thanks. You won't regret this, ma'am. Captain. I can call you Captain now. Ha! I got a captain. Where are we headed?
Well, I certainly am looking forward to flying on a ship named the Unreliable. I'll just head upstairs and claim a room.
What can I do for you, Captain? Do you know how to install a power regulator? Outstanding, Captain. Your aptitude for engineering will prove invaluable in the event of another catastrophic engine failure. Our engine room is located behind you, across the cargo bay, up the ladders. What can I do for you, Captain? All systems are operating within acceptable parameters. I am prepared to bring the Unreliable into low-altitude orbit. This should prove an adequate test of our flight capabilities. We have received a communication request from Dr. Phineas Wells.
Aha, there you are. Hale and hearty, and captain of your own ship. I see you're putting the Unreliable to good use. Shame about her former captain. Horrible way to die. How are you feeling, by the way? I lost track of you in that cave back there. Experiencing any, unnatural drippage? Perfectly normal side effect of thawing, I assure you. Oh, that, yes, that's probably permanent. I wouldn't worry about it, though. I'm sure you're fine. What you saw in Emerald Vale is happening all across the colony. Food shortages, lack of supplies, and basic necessities. We're dying. The chairman, the minister, and all their lackeys on the board are to blame. The Hope has some of the brightest minds Earth ever sent us. If we can revive the Hope's colonists, they can help us undo the board's mistakes. They can help us set things right. You need to get to Stellar Bay on Monarch. I have contacts there. They'll help me, help us, find the chemicals to revive your fellow colonists. Gladys Culkelly, lovely woman, runs a cozy little black marketing outfit on the Groundbreaker. She can get you a nav key to land on Stellar Bay. Strictly speaking, Monarch is a moon, terraformed badly, and almost completely lawless. You'll love it. Captains don't fly their own ships, you see. Your navigation terminal handles the, navigation. Think of a nav key as a set of flight instructions. The board's been confiscating nav keys for Stellar Bay, so we must rely on unconventional means of acquisition. Hence, Miss Gladys Kilkelly. Gladys and I have been doing business for years. Her smuggling credentials are unimpeachable. If anyone can get you a key to Monarch, it's her. Without a skip drive, good luck. You'll be dead before you make it to the nearest star. Look, I admire your optimism, but the sad truth is you're stuck here. You, me, and the rest of this colony. We're all skating precariously around the edge of oblivion together. None of us are leaving Halcyon alive, so we may as well make it a better place, and we can start by reviving the hope. Excellent. I'll send her a wireless. Let her know you're coming. By the way, I gave Captain Hawthorne a disguise apparatus of my own design, cutting-edge technology years ahead of its time. I call it the Holographic Shroud. I'm sure it will prove remarkably useful to you. You'll find it in the captain's quarters. Marvelous device. I'm quite proud of myself. The shroud changes the user's appearance to mimic that of another. It has limits, first-generation technology, you see, but promising. Exciting to see it in use at last. Very simply, the holographic shroud uses biometric information contained on standard identity cartridges to generate a holographic projection around you. Only stands up to a casual scrutiny. Use it too long, bound to flicker, blur, something like that. Movement makes it more likely. Best used in moderation. When you see guards in your path you can't sneak past, for example. Maintain your distance. Act normal. No running, no jumping. Don't draw their attention. If they pay attention, they're more likely to notice flaws in the hologram. A change of clothes. What is this? Some old spy serial? What inattentive and brainless guard would be fooled by such a shabby disguise? The holographic shroud masks not only your clothes, but your face and fingerprints. It modulates your voice and sweetens your breath. Science, that's how. Excellent. I'll contact you once you've found a way to get to Stellar Bay. If you have any questions, come see me in my lab. And remember, don't trust the board. They'll try to win you over with promises of wealth and power, but it's a lie. The board's only interested in filling their own pockets. If we don't put a stop to them, they're going to run this colony to the ground.
Transmission ended. If you are ready to depart, please select a destination on your navigation terminal.
I could spend hours reflecting on the secret workings of the universe. Little else in this colony offers such a relaxing pastime. So, tell me what's on your mind. I excel at confessional listening. Nothing too out of the ordinary. Just your run-of-the-mill vicar with a violently enthusiastic disposition. That's what my parents called it. I grew up in a pit of a town much like Edgewater. I was destined to be a laborer like my parents, but I was infected early with a need to solve the equation. My passion didn't sit well with them. My parents, ironically. They internalized the precepts of scientism like no one I've ever known. They had a pure faith, a faith that brought joy to them regardless of the situation. I envied that. I wanted that peace. I thought if I became a vicar, I could find it. Or at the very least, find out why I lacked it. They thought I was fighting the plan, should have accepted my lot. Some people pursue the clergy for power, prestige, but that was not me. The simple version is this. The force which we call the Grand Architect created the universal equation that underlies and defines everything in the universe. Everything flows from the equation, or in layman's terms, the grand plan. Is the Grand Architect a consciousness? A natural force? Did it create the equation on purpose? The answers to these questions don't really matter. The equation, the plan, is all that matters. Contentment is found by accepting one's role in the plan. The plan is not one rigid path. There are a variety of multitudes contained within it. Our paths have variance, but we'll end up adhering to it whether we like it or not. Some choices make the path smoother, some rougher. You can even go outside the lines, but the further outside you go, it's like an unbreakable elastic band. It will only stretch so far before it snaps back. The further it is stretched, the more violent the eventual correction. I have run headlong into too many walls in my pursuit of the truth. This book is my last hope, and you were my only hope of getting it translated. What about you? What's your story? And how did he do that? Well, you do seem different than every other colonist. Let's pretend for the moment I believe you. What are you going to do now? That seems a dangerous proposition. Why risk your life now that it's been returned to you? A commendable attitude. Bakonu, the author, had some interesting theories about man's perception of reality that I thought could be applied to our attempts to decipher the plan. Unfortunately, he was also one of the founders of the Philosophist school of thought, so the book is banned in this colony. Philosophism's a false religion that stands in contradiction to almost everything we know to be true. They believe all is chaos, in stark contrast to OSI's belief in the plan. But most of the philosophist perversion of Bakonu's thoughts came more than a century after his death. I've been thinking on that. There's a former infamous philosophist scholar who fled Terra 2 some years ago. He's an expert on Bakonu. He's also who told me of the journal's presence in Emerald Vale. If anyone in this colony could translate that book, it would be him. That's a good question. We should start on the Groundbreaker. It's where I'd go if I wanted to get off Terra 2. Great place to pick up a ride to Hephaestus, Scylla, even Monarch. All I need is access to a data cartridge from the security terminal. Their easily hackable system keeps a registry of all crew manifests for both arrivals and departures. Before I transferred to Edgewater, I had a wealth of time to develop certain, secular skills during my years serving a particular penitentiary flock. I meditated, led sermons, provided guidance to the inmates as needed, of course. I also played prison yard tossball and taught myself a bit about computronic security systems. Thank you, Captain. By verity, by strength. What are we... Of course. Are you ready to break into security on... If I can act... Thank... I find...
I've adjusted the spice containers to optimize the flow. There is an increased amount of methane in the ship's air scrubbers.
I could probably spend years fixing this boat, stem to stern. Mostly, yeah. I lived in the maintenance office near all my life. Mr. Thompson... he meant funny as in odd. It's not normal for anyone to do as their parents. You take a vocational test. That decides your schooling and your career. When I tested out for maintenance, everyone figured it was on account of my dad. They were real unhappy with us. Well, I'm good at making things work the way they ought. Not so much at doing such to somebody else's schedule. There's times I'm working deep in the guts of a loader, getting it all running perfect. Then I look up to see it's tomorrow, and I've blown another deadline. Anyhow, I was happy to get back home. I didn't care much for schooling. Yep, nothing much had changed. Everything was a little grayer, a little dirtier. Dad met me at the shuttle and gave me a big ol' hug. I noticed straight away that he was moving slower and stiffer. I made a little grunt when I squeezed. About a year. I tried to do more of the work so he could rest. His heart gave him pains. Dad never said that he loved me, you know? I knew on account of him showing it. How he'd stay up late to help with my projects or listen to my fretting. Oh gosh. Look at the time. Sorry to bend your ear so long. Sometimes I can...
Welcome back, Captain. How can I be of assistance? The unit is a cleaning SAM. Hawthorne brought it on board some cycles ago, I'm sure with the intent to modify it, but I've never seen it up and running. Alex likely recorded progress notes detailing his efforts to modify Sam. If you check the terminal in your captain's quarters, we may be able to determine what work remains in order for Sam to properly operate. I'll be here. Welcome back, Captain. How can I be of assistance? Certainly, Captain. What would you like to hear? How often do I make jokes about chemistry? Periodically. Now playing a Spacer's Choice advertisement jingle.
It's not the best choice. It's Spacer's Choice.
Everyone in Halcyon is contractually obligated to label this or another board-certified jingle their favorite song. As you wish, Captain. I must comply with all. I have lots of minutes. Many minutes. Unlimited minutes, perhaps. Providing... I prefer to think of it as being in a state of slumber. Perhaps for an indefinite duration of... When I simulate myself in such a scenario, I do not find it to be desirable. Traveling the system with you, Captain. Do you know what it feels like when the ship undergoes an unexpected power surge? As you may be aware, Captain Alex Hawthorne was a smuggler of some repute. I failed to predict the in our travels together. Alex liked to pass time by, as he called it. If you mean, was Captain Hawthorne. How can I be? What part of the colony? Ah, yes. As Dr. Wells is a wanted outlaw, he built his laboratory into an asteroid. There is a bounty on his head, one with a markedly high reward amount. I shall happily comply with your order. The outlaw scientist known as Dr. Phineas V. Wells, even knowing the location, my systems... Of course, what part of the... We're cleared to dock with the groundbreaker. If we're going there, please be sure all docking forms have been filed in triplicate and fees have been paid. I can, yes. Let me add that to my list of 1,400,000. You are more than welcome, Captain. The Groundbreaker was Halcyon's original colony ship. Freighters often deliver or pick up goods from the Groundbreaker. Many of Halcyon's companies maintain office spaces. I have filed the required docking form. How can... What part of the... Where in Terra? Edgewater is the sparkling... The town is near the coordinates where... You mean the ones who did not answer my distress call with medical assistance? I'm sure they are wonderful humans who don't deserve... Since you diverted power to Edgewater, the botanical lab shut down. Meanwhile, the cannery's output increased, enabling... Thank you for nothing. I cannot say. First, I need to adjust my memory interpretation. How can I be? What part of the... Where in Monarch? Ah, Monarch. I believe it has something to do with the planet being in... You may wish... Its sublight run for the... How can... What part of... Where... Warning. All colonists are urged to reconsider travel to Cascadia due to infestation of mantisaur. There are no people aside from... The local report... This is one of those times... Of course. What part of the Where? Edgewell. The town is... Of course. What part of the... We're clear. I have... Take care. We've arrived at the groundbreaker.
Hey, Captain. I heard that Groundbreaker's got a real good engineer. A lady named Junlei Tennyson? I was thinking that maybe I ought to meet her. If you got time to swing us by, I mean. I don't got much experience fixing actual spaceships. I bet you a can of Borston beans she could teach me all manner of stuff. Thanks, Captain. I'll be Did you want to talk about something?
Et on va s'arrêter. On reprendra sur cette le précurseur la prochaine fois. Allez, bye.